Hello, welcome back to Auto Pop, and today we're going to be going over the 8th episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 4, and the title of this episode is RuPaul's Best Judy Race. So the guest stars is Frances Bean Cobain, which is Kurt Cobain's daughter, and Ellen Pompeo, who is Meredith Grey from Grey's Anatomy. So they're guest stars. So the mini challenge, the maxi challenge, I should say, is one of my favorite ones that I love them doing is the making over another person. So in this specific one is make over your best Judy, which is somebody that you see as a best friend. Behind the story behind it all, which I'm really glad that RuPaul pointed this out because I didn't even know about this, is the fact that the night of Judy Garland's funeral, when she died, was the same night that the Stonewall riots happened, which is actually very, very interesting, which just ties up everything together, ties up to the part where people used to say back in the day, if like, are you friends of Dorothy, which is you'll find out if they were, that's a way to find out if they were queer or not. So in this one, each person the queens have their best friend / somebody that you see as a best friend, come in and they make over them into drag to look very similar to each other. So Monet had her best friend / assistant, which is this gorgeous redhead person named Patty. And then we had Trinity had Leo, Leo is her boyfriend. Manila had Michael, which is her husband. Naomi had Ricardo, which is her best friend. And we had Latrice, who had Tim, which is one of his longtime best friends. So, I think is kind of cool. So during the time where they're trying to figure out what to do with each other, one of the highlights I really liked was the fact that Trinity's boyfriend has a big old dick, so they have to figure out how to tuck him in the most, which is funny. It's just funny because Trinity is known for her tuck, so she had to apply that to her boyfriend, which is I thought was kind of fun. Another thing that was a highlight was Naomi wanted to take more risks in this type of thing, which I thought was super, super cool, especially after RuPaul's pointing out that she needs to start making more mistakes, and she was a little too perfect, too cookie cutter. So in this type of thought, she wanted to have her do something different, risky, make some more mistakes. So she took that by heart and she actually applied this, we'll get into that later. So, and the runway, the idea is that you had to do a musical tribute to Judy Garland, which is a song from her, and each couple had to perform it. So, and that one was okay. I couldn't really tell exactly what to think out of it, other than that Monet and Patty did an amazing job. So then we move on. So we move on to the runway, which is pretty much they're supposed to look they're related. So Latrice had, and I'll go by the actual drag names. So Latrice and Alexis Knight were on it, they looked okay. It was okay. It's one of Latrice's least work, but it did okay. Monet and Shanita Hart did a really cool thing where they both had eyes on each side of each other, so that when it came together, it was one eye, and then their arms had the kind of little eyelashes on their arms, which I thought was kind of cool. And then Naomi, Manila and her partner, Io wife Lausanne, I totally caught that. Manila is just so funny. I think that she's just hilarious, and Io wife definitely a nod to Priscilla, and that Filipino wife that one guy had in the movie. Did a great job. Or actually, no, they did not do a great job. This one was super, super, super simple. I liked the look of it. It looked good. She looked polished, but compared to everybody else, it was very, 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 very simple compared to what she's done before too. Naomi and Extra Smalls did the best look, which is, it started off with them both being Cher, and I was like, okay, 2 shares is okay, but like there should be more. And then next you know, wig comes off, mustache comes on, and Naomi is Sunny, and then the Extra Smalls is Cher, and it looked so amazing. It just blended so well. It was one of my best things. She surprises me, because last time it was Prince look, and now it's this one. Like, she deserves to be where she's at. Trinity and Indigo the Tuck did a very Versace kind of look, which I thought was pretty fancy. I personally love Versace looks, so I think that was a really good look. And then Monet and Petty Cash both did a great, beautiful gold look, which I thought was really cool. Which is, and it's interesting because Petty Cash actually looks she looks like All-Star, well, at least RuPaul's Drag Race, like, level. Like, she looked exactly like a contestant. She didn't look like she was like a guest, which I thought was so, which really actually brings in the fact that why she looks so great. And also, when we go to the tops, so in the end of it, Naomi was the top. Naomi and Monet were the top winners, and was deserved. And the bottoms were Manila and Latrice, 2 people who were batting against, like teaming up with each other kind of thing throughout the whole thing, but never sent each other home, and so like that. So it was very interesting to see what would happen. And in the end, Naomi and Monet did a lip sync, and all was great, but I felt like Naomi did more work inside of her. She was more entertaining, honestly. She was the most entertaining person in a lip sync. So in the end of it, Manila surprisingly went home, which is interesting because we thought that she was going to make it seem like, oh, she'll send Latrice home, because they've been dying to send her home, even though for some reason there's other half of people that are just like, she's a legacy, we can't just send her home. I was like, if she's doing a shitty job, she should send home, but they did not send her home. In fact, Naomi sent Manila home, who is other than Trinity, is the hardest one to beat. So she goes home, everybody's shocked. I'm not completely shocked. I think that everything kind of happened in that way. She didn't look that great, so she sent her home. So that's it. So that was episode 8, and now we're down to Trinity, Naomi, Latrice, Monet, and Naomi, and blah blah blah. Let me say this again. We have Latrice, Monet, Monique, Naomi, and that's it. So we're good to go. So we have and Trinity. It's gonna be crazy what's gonna happen. We're gonna see what happens, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.